1, 2, buckle my shoe. I'm on my way to Barbados, meeting the interior designers at Project Western, and then meeting the then we're all going over to Project Sun, because they're on both projects, my man. Like, that's it, this is it and that's that. The stud work has been put up and stuff, the plaster has been put on both projects, so they want to finalise their plans, remeasure the room sizes, and see what they can finally put in. And I'm looking forward to seeing what these interior designers do, you know. In my last video, at the end of it, I was talking about how to come up with content creation ideas, and one of the suggestions that I put forward to you was keep an eye out on group chats that you're in, whether it's Facebook or WhatsApp, for example, keep an eye out on those group chats, because people fire in questions all the time, right? And one of the questions I got fired in last night in a chat that I was in was, I keep seeing the word drawdown, and I don't know what it means. What does drawdown mean? So when I answered that question, I was like, holy shit, like, there's a post. So copied that, basically cleaned it up a little bit, posted it on social media and stuff, and then that was it. Because I hadn't put a post out on social media yesterday, and I was like, do you know what, it just slipped my mind. And then when I answered that question, I was like, oh, there's an idea, boom. So that's how easy it can come across, and I'll talk about it. So when it comes to a drawdown, basically if you're using development finance, that's when you get a loan to cover 100% of the renovation or the conversion of a house into a HMO. So it's usually, I don't know, it depends on the size of the property. So let's say it's like 160 grand. That's what you loan, or maybe a bit more because you want a contingency. Basically, you want about 5 or 6 drawdowns per build. So broken into 5 or 6 stages. So basically, at the start, you pay the builder deposit, drawdown 1 eventually comes. That's when the builder sends you an invoice. Let's say it's £40,000. You go, brilliant, thank you. You then send it to the lender or the surveyor. I send it to the surveyor because first name basis, I text him and stuff. So I'll send it to him. Hey, look, we're wanting to do a drawdown. And he'll be like, all right, okay, this next Monday work? And you go, yes. And then he comes out Monday. Between that moment and Monday, you then send a description of works for that stage, from either the start of the build to the first drawdown, or between, let's say he's coming out on drawdown number 4, you do from drawdown number 3 to number 4. So the stage between his last visit and this visit, you say, here's what's happened, here's what's being invoiced for. And you also do a drawdown sheet, which has columns. And basically it's a category of works on the left, like joinery, plumbing, electrics, all that stuff on the left. And then a breakdown, and then the columns is drawdown 1, drawdown 2, drawdown 3, drawdown 4. And it's basically a cost. Here's how much. So it's like 5 grand electrics, 5 grand plumbing, 5 grand plastering. And at the bottom is the total, and that adds up to the invoice. I hope you're following me. All right. Feel free to transcribe this video and get ChatGPT to simplify it. So you send the drawdown sheet, you send the description of works and the invoice to the surveyor. He then comes out and assesses the property, because they only pay for works completed. If the work hasn't been completed, so if you're claiming for, I don't know, the en-suites and they're not even on site, they haven't even been ordered yet, then they're not going to pay for that. So it's only works completed, what's been fitted and bolted. Or if the electrician's standing there with wire in his hand, then the drawdown surveyor should know that's getting done today. So he comes out, assesses the property, takes videos, and does a report. In his report, he'll send that report to the lender saying, I can confirm all the works that have been requested for this drawdown for the invoice has been completed. So I advise that the drawdown be done. The lender then says, brilliant, and then they issue you the drawdown. They send it to you, the owner, the investor, right? And that usually takes about 42 to 72 hours. Some lenders can do it same day, some lenders do it next day. If the works hasn't been completed, they'll pay less because they'll only pay for works completed. So, and sometimes it can take a little bit longer if there's any delays. Sometimes there's like delays and stuff, you know, like insurances and all that shit, you know. So you get the payment from the drawdown, and then you pay the builder. Done, dusted. So builder invoices you, you get the drawdown surveyor out, he does his report, the lender give you the payment based off the report, and then you pay the builder. That's a drawdown. All right, I know if I heard that for the first time, I'd be like, what the fuck did you just say, Scott? I get it. I think it is just one of those things. You have to go through the motions to learn how to do it. It's like reading about how to swim. You got to jump in the fucking pool, man. You got to jump in the pool and learn firsthand. So, you know, it is one of those things. If you are going through a drawdown for the first time and you've got me on Instagram, just DM me and I'll see what I can do to help. But a good little tip is if the builder's like, if you say to the builder, can you let me know a week in advance when you're going to invoice? So let's say it's Friday today and he's going to invoice next Friday. You could be like, well, if you're going to invoice next Friday, I'll book the surveyor to come out next Friday. Or basically just say, I want the surveyor to come out on the day of your invoice or the day after you issue your invoice. Because if there's any problems, you know, if there's any delays in the drawdown payment being sent from the lender, it gives you enough time to pay the invoice, because usually it's about 14 days. So you want to give yourself as much time as possible to pay that invoice. If he issues the invoice today and the surveyor can't come out for another like 10, 11 days, and it takes 72 hours, or it takes longer because there's problems, then you've gone over the builder's invoice. Subcontractors may need paid, materials needing paid, builder's not happy, rightfully so. He gave you 14 days. You know, it's one of those things. You're basically helping the builder out in that situation. You're helping yourself out. You're helping the subbies out. Do you know what I mean? It's a win-win. So you got to make sure that you try and coordinate that the surveyor comes out maybe on the day or the day after the builder's invoice is issued. You know, because then you might be thinking, how do I give the surveyor the invoice if it's issued the same day? Well, I don't know, get the surveyor out a day after or 2 days after. Just give yourself as much time as possible to pay the invoice on time within the due date. All right. Woo. Well, shite, I can tell. Okay, right, I hope you enjoyed that. Let's see, I don't know what this video is going to be today, so I'll see you when I see you. All right, it's the next day. Yesterday, so many problems came up that I can't talk about right now because they're ongoing. That it was just like relentless fucking problems, and it just took the wind right out of me, to be honest. So last night, you might want to do this. It actually helped. I got home at like, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock, and then I just put my phones on airplane mode for like 2 hours, and then cracked on with work from about 7, 8 o'clock for a couple hours, you know. And in that couple hours, done like a valuation pack, created a valuation pack for the latest project. The valuer is coming out on Monday, and to summarize it, the valuation pack is, you get the pre-valuation during legals, because it gives you a good indicator of what the end value is going to be, right? And usually that's lower than the actual end valuation from my experience and other people's experience. So in the valuation pack, some people don't do it, some people do it, but I do it every single time. It has basically the area details, like why this is a good area, comparables that match the rents, what you expect the end figure to be and why, the description of works that you're going to do to the project, the current floor plans, the end floor plans, so it's usually the proposed or stage 4 floor plans, the rents that you expect to get, and there's probably a couple other things, but that's usually it. You don't want to have like pages and pages. It's usually about 7 or 8 pages. I think there's a lead magnet, to be brutally honest. There's a free valuation pack link in the description below if you want to have a wee look at it, because that's what I use, and we hit the valuation every single time. Whether that helps or not, I use it. So what am I doing just now? I'm going to be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, booking 7 viewings if they're still in the market. I found these last night and a couple this morning, and let's see if we can view them. One of them's in a new investment area, by the way, which is pretty far away. So I'm going to see if we can book all of them in one day in an ideal world. And yeah, let's just crack on with it. Hey, how's it going? I just saw a property of yours listed on Rightmove. I was just wondering if I could book a viewing for it, please.
Can I just take a name, sorry?
It's Scott. Scott McPherson. Scott, S-C-O-T-T. Yeah, of course, it's Scott, S-C-O-T-T. Right, one down, fucking God knows how many to go. All right, this next one, I think will be, again, 3 studios, 3 double en-suites. Done it in this area before, and this isn't the new area just yet. So I'm confident about the end value because I've had end valuations on this area. Confident about the studios and double en-suites because I've done it in this area, and that's what really helps as well. And if you haven't done it in this, like if you're looking at a new area and you're like, I don't know What the end valuation is going to be, ask a valuer or ask friends that are investors. But I'll tell you this much, that information is fucking hard to get. People gatekeep that. I don't gatekeep it, but people gatekeep the shit out of it. It's really difficult, man. I'm yet to find out Sheffield's, and I've been like trying for a year and a half. No one will tell me Sheffield's, so I'm yet to find a valuer that will actually. They tell me every other area.
Thank you for using On The Market.
But I don't know if you find that as well.
We are connecting you.
How's it going? I'm just looking at a property that you have listed on the market, and it's yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, in the morning, 10 o'clock sounds good. Lovely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That's what I like. That's what I like. Just yeah, you want to view it? Yeah. Tuesday, would Tuesday be okay? Yeah, Tuesday's fine. I'll send you a text. See you later. Bye. Bish bash bosh. Done dusted. To be fair, I know that agents. They're really good. Love it. Viewing. So what I do is I have it on Google Calendar, and I have different colors. So green is like viewing. You know what I mean? Simple as. And in the location, I just put whatever location it is. And why am I telling you that? That's boring shit. Basically, when I hop in the car, I want to be able to just go on calendar, the location's there, hit there, go on maps, off I go. You know what I mean? I don't want to be searching in my emails and typing and all that shit. All right, that's it. This is it and that's that. When I'm on Trello, I have different categories. Imagine like cards at the top, and then the addresses like individual things, right? So the first one is potential deals. This is when, like, if I'm on Rightmove, Zoopla, Property Engine, to be honest, I use Property Engine and On The Market, because On The Market doesn't go up to Property Engine for some reason. So I use those, and if I see one that I think is a potential deal and I'm out, you know, like if I'm just on my phone or whatever, I'll just add it to potential deals, and then I'll analyze it when I get here. And it's the next category is book viewing ASAP. And when I have book viewing ASAP, that's once I've analysed, I've checked if the numbers work, the floor plans look good, check the EPC to make sure the floor plan sizes match the sizes that I'm looking for. What's that, Scott? Well, I've done a 5-bed, which is 61 square meters. That was 4 double en suites and 1 studio. But I've done the smallest house that I've converted into a 6-bed is 76 square meters. But that's very tight. That's 3 studios, 3 double en suites, all studios being 14 square meters, and the minimum standard is 14 square meters. So that is really, really tight. Don't really recommend that because you're paranoid and you're measuring throughout the build, but it can work. Usually you're looking at about 80 to 85 square meters and above. So I check the EPC, check the numbers, check the area. If it's in an area I've already done before, usually it's in the same postcode that I've done before, I know the area is okay. Check to see the rents. If it's a new area, to see the demand, I go on spare room, and I check to see how many people are wanting a room and how many are listed. And usually you want it to be like a lot more people are wanting than what there is listed. That's a good indicator of the demand. Speak to lettings agents and stuff if you're doing area research. Anyway, so once I've done those sort of things with the property, book viewing ASAP, like you saw there, I'm booking the viewing. I slide over to the next one, which is viewing booked. And then I go and view the property, slide over to the next one. The property is viewed. Now that I know the property is viewed, I've done my measurements. I make sure that I go over the floor plans again to see what can be done, because usually the agent's floor measurements are either wrong or they don't exist, and they certainly never include the loft if it's not being converted. And I want to do from the bottom of the loft to the ridge to make sure there's enough room to do a loft conversion. You know what I mean? Right, so property viewed. The next one is offer submitted. So I'll submit the offer, move it over to offer submitted, and then I'll move it over to offer accepted if it gets accepted. Once it's accepted, I'll basically create a card that I'll have like week by week. Here's what I'm doing each week. I can dive into that in another video. I'll probably dive into this whole thing in a separate video. And then basically, if the offer gets rejected, I have a column for that as well, because I'm now in negotiations, you know, and then I'll put it back to offer submitted with the new offer. And if it just gets flat out rejected or sold subject to contract, I have a category for that as well. And I set a reminder for about 90 days. And if it's still sold subject to contract after 90 days, then I get back in touch with the agent if they're not wanting to move forward. If it's like 200 days or something, I'll just send a letter to the house and be like, look, clearly the house is not sold, it's been sold to contract for a while. But I make it very clear in the letter that I'm not going to bypass the agent. I'm not going to gazump the agent. I've been gazumped before and it's fucking disheartening. It's really infuriating. So I make sure that we'll keep the agent in the loop. They still get paid. I'm just wanting to, buy it. So that's a brief overview. I'm going to book a few more viewings. I'm not going to put you through all of it, right? So site visit day to day. I'll see you at the site visit. Right, we're at Project Brighton. Do you want to see something beautiful? The painters have been here. Painters came to save the day. Reached out to my network. This is why it's good having a network that you can trust, troops. Because other painters went on holiday, we were stuck, terribly stuck. Reached out to my network and people came in and helped, man. Honestly. Very lucky. Feature. See how it says feature there? Feature, feature, feature. Look at this. This has been a long time coming. The outside of the house has been done. I'll show you at the end. It looks fucking amazing. I'll probably show you in the montage, to be honest. But let's carry on upstairs. This one is very close to completing. Is someone here? Hello? Alright. No, they just left the lights on. Oh, fucking hell. That would have been very awkward. Your boy is sweating like fuck. I can't help how much I sweat. There we go. Right. You obviously saw the kitchens before. Interior designer stuff came a wee bit early. There's a feature wall. Matches that. So that, and the door. You know what I mean? And it's the same in each room. Studio. Feature wall. Wardrobe being painted. The wardrobes do get painted the same colour as well. And let's crack on and see what's going on up here. The final room. Feature. Door. That wardrobe's been primed, it's going to be painted next. Look at that. Oh, I'm just so happy, man. Just so happy. This was like a big headache. Needs to be solved. You'd never think that something as small as someone going on holiday can cause like such a knock-on effect of problems. So my advice is ask the builder, let me know when someone's going on holiday. If their team's big, then they'll just pull someone in themselves. But if not, then just be like, let me know. I'll reach out to my network and we'll get someone in. Get someone in. Someone that you trust. Because that would have saved about a week and a half, 2 weeks of delays. You know what I mean? But we live and we learn, man. We live and we learn. I'm happy with the build team, happy with everything, happy with the painters. Time for a montage. Yeah.
I'm assuming we've got keys. I know it's empty, but it's quite a new listing, so I will just double check before I let you go. So what I'll do, Scott, I'll send you an email to confirm.
So it'll be a HMO side of things, yeah.
Thank you, no problem.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. 6 or 7 viewings booked today. I'm a sweaty bastard. Look at the state of this. It's just so hot, innit? Yeah, have a slice of that in your sandwich. Right, I've arrived at the next one. I'm just going to dip in and out. I don't think I'm going to do a montage of this one. The neighbours aren't happy. So that's what I'm going to do. But listen to that. 6 or 7 viewings in one day. I'm decided to fucking lock in and get my shit together. Let's do that every day. Come on. Welcome to Project Madagascar. But hey, it's the last site visit of the day. And then I'm probably going to sit there. I'm going to do client reports and edit this video, perhaps. Let's see if I can be arsed. Been a long day, man. But you can see footings have been dug, concrete's been poured. Ugh, I don't have a key, man. Fuck. See if you can see around here. Hang on. Dug all down there. Yeah. So concrete's been poured. Footings dug, dig around the back. It's most of it this week, to be honest. You know, foundations basically. We have to get underpinning on the bottom here, right down there, because these old houses are built. Well, that bit was built on dirt, so you've got the weight of the dormer. So the dormer is a way up there, and all of it was being put on here, right here, this pillar. We took the pillar out, got acros in here, got new steels in, and we put concrete. So dug in further, it comes in further, and it just adds a bit more structure. So when we put, you know, the beam back there, the pillar, then I'm out of breath, troops. Come on, let's power through this. Then because the concrete's poured into there, it'll be able to support the weight of the dormer, because the dormer is heavy. Plus, all this new stuff's heavy. You know what I mean? It's just built on dirt. We gotta make sure it's structurally sound. Building control will want to see that too. They were out today, so they're happy with it. And this is it. It's just those things cost a little bit more, but you know, the structure of your house is extremely fucking important. It's got to be able to support all the weight. You got to remember, when you're doing all these, when you're adding kitchens, when you're adding 2 new rooms in the loft, putting more steels in, and dormers, you know what I mean? All these new things, it's going to get heavy. So when you're digging your footings and doing the foundations, your builder should know if it'll support it or not, or the structural engineer as well. If the builder's uncertain, get the structural engineer out and they'll put a plan together. But just underpinning there, that'll now hold the weight of that. All right, so that is today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a long fucking day and I've still got train legs. Remember to like and subscribe. See you next one.